Hello, thank you for tuning in to the We'll Fix It team. Today we're working on a 2008 Toyota Corrola, and this thing's in need of a couple of things. The thermostat, the lady requested because it's been in there since it was like the original thermostat, but it came in, it would heat when she came to standstill, sitting in like drive-through lines or in traffic, and then she accelerated and went down the road, it would cool off. And after I tested the original fan assembly, which is over there at the moment, it checked out bad. I had power going to it, motor wasn't on. I took a hammer and whacked the back of the motor in it, where the part where the electric motor was, and it came to life. And so I was like, yeah, that's for sure the fan is bad. And it's really easy to remove. Just a couple of bolts, one on each corner over here. Uh, and then I disconnected the connector relatively easily, and then just unhooked the hose, and it slid right out. So that's an easy DIY part to replace. But basically the video here is just doing the thermostat. If you're going to do the thermostat, I recommend just taking that fan assembly out. It is easy to get out, and it makes it so much nicer because otherwise you're going to get in there, you'll have to pull the alternator off, and that's a little more involved if you're DIY and stuff because, it's still not the end of the world to do, but I had to take this fan out anyhow to replace it. So while I was in there, I had the extra room. And what I used to get this thing out, the thermostats down in here. And what the kicker is that bolt you see at the bottom of the alternator, or that nut, or however you want to call it there, that's the jam nut. It's kind of in the way of that. There's a stud that's in that hole. I took the stud out because once I tried to pull the housing off, I just left it on the hose right there just to keep from breaking that seal. It's hard to get off because you got the studs you see the stud at the top. You can see that stud right here at the top. Well, it's got one in the bottom. And my method of doing so was I used a quarter drive stuff, and I used my quarter drive swivelly, and I had a 10 millimeter socket on there that was a little bit longer than some of my other 10 millimeters, which allowed me enough room to get over that stud and still get on the nut. Because if you use a deep well 10 millimeter, it kind of hits the air conditioner bracket and all that. So once I got the nut broke loose, I took it off, and then I removed that stud with the Torx bit. I used what did I use? An E5. And then I removed the stud, and then that allowed me to pull the thermostat housing off. And once you replace the thermostat, I'll show you what the new one looks like. Wherever it's at, there it is. And the aftermarket ones don't look quite like the original. I like OEM stuff, but you need to replace the thermostat and make sure that you have this little copper thing. It's at the top there. That little thing right there needs to be aiming up. It needs to be aiming up when you put the thermostat back in there. That's your main kicker. And to get this thing to start flowing, cooling easily, I will take the top hose off and then refill the engine first, because then it gets water. Because when I pull that thermostat, all the water is going to run out of the engine block. And then when you fill it up, it may or may not get a lot in there, but it's easy peasy just to pull that top hose, fill it back up like that till you get in there and put that on, then fill the radiator up, and you'll see it burp a whole lot easier like that. So that's basically how I do the thermostat on this '08 Corrola, and it's kind of the same throughout a few year models. If it looks like that engine there, this will work for you guys. And she's got a power steering leak on this. I'm going to have to do some work with that. And they've been refilling it with normal power steering fluid, which you think would be a good idea. But a lot of Nissans and other like Japanese or Chinese stuff, it uses, believe it or not, a ATF Dexron Type 3 fluid. And so that's what I'm going to have to flush out. I'm going to have to take the lines loose. I'm going to take the return line. This is the one that feeds it back into the tank. And I'm going to hook another hose to that and then run that to a jug. And I'm going to start the vehicle up. I'll have my helper run it while I keep this thing full until I flush out all the power steering fluid that they put in there and put Dexron back in it. Then add some clamps back to where it's connected, because that's where it's leaking at. These clamps, the hose gets old and tired and collapses, and I can see how easily I can turn that. That's not really, it's not good. And I think that's where a lot of the leak is. The pump might be leaking, but I'm gonna fix those clamps first and put the right fluid in it, because that makes other stuff leak. When you put the wrong fluid in things, it's not immediate, but it will work on the seals and stuff on these things. So Nissans and Toyotas, a lot of them take Dextron fluid just for the heck of it. I'm just letting you know. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.